out to play.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Wolfpack with me, Dan, and
Kyle Grazier.
And as you can see, we are in the flesh today to talk about something very, very important. If you live under a rock and you don't know, at the moment, the ticketing situation at Molineux is an absolute joke, and there's been a lot done just recently, but a lot more needs doing as well. There is 11,000 signatures at the moment over on the change.org website that we're just going to show you right now. And that is very, very amazing. Very good indeed to have 11,000 signatures. However, there's a lot more people in our community that haven't signed up. And this is really, really important because, okay, let's just say it hasn't really affected you too much, okay? But for someone else, it's affected them to a point where they need to sort it now, because some people are being priced out and they can't see Wolves play due to this change, and that is just an absolute joke, and we should be ashamed of our ownership for doing this. So me and Carl are here today, and we're going to be talking about what you need to do in order to make a bit of a difference. I'm going to hand it over to Kyle, and he's going to talk about what the old goal pack have said relating to the petition. So yeah, Kyle.
Thank you, Dan. So it's affecting a lot of us. You know, as this petition goes on, we've got, like Dan said, over 11,500 signatures. 1,300 of which were today. So that's really, really good. It's moving in the right direction. Their next aim's 15,000, so that's pretty much half of the stadium's capacity. Again, massive, massive statement. So keep signing the petition. We'll put a link in, won't we, and make sure everyone gets that sorted. So the old gold pack have said, the recent announcement of the cost of season ticket prices for the 24-25 season has sent shockwaves through the fan base. Match-going fans are the lifeblood of any football club, the very essence of what a football club is. These very fans are now left delusioned with feelings of frustration and anger at yesterday's announcement. In a cost of living crisis and a city that has the second highest unemployment rate in the UK, these prices are offensive and will now force many to question if they can afford to renew, perhaps even putting some in a financial difficulty to fund the one thing that they treasure. Priced out of love, a passion, and a community that has remained constant in their lives. We have seen the great work done by the club in the local community, and more recently around mental health, something to be incredibly proud of. Meanwhile, Gary O'Neill and the players have helped to rebuild that special connection with the fans. Unfortunately, Thursday's announcement shows how detached the club's decision makers are from the great work of the Wolves Foundation for our city and its people. We encourage those at the club to reconsider the approach to ticket prices before irreversible damage is done to the fan base and the local community. It is not too late to reconsider and preserve for the future of the club, for the fans that helped us get to where we are today, to preserve the very lifeblood of this famous old club. As fans, we remain loyal to our club through the good times and the bad, but since this announcement we've seen many people question the direction where we're heading, and if they want to be a part of it anymore. Wolverhampton Wanderers FC has always been a pillar of the local community and surrounding areas. How much the club values that community is now very much in question. We strongly encourage the club to reconsider its approach. We also do, as a Wolfpack team, I'm speaking on behalf of myself, Dan, and all the people behind the scenes. Not one of us agrees and thinks this is the right thing to do. So please make sure you get this petition signed. I know I've signed it twice. But yeah, please make sure, keep sharing it. You know, if you can't afford to even donate at the last little bit to get it boosted, a share on Facebook is more than enough to get that reach out there. Obviously, times are tough in general in life, so it's really important to get it signed, and we remain as a pack and get it pushed out.
Nice. So everything that you heard there on that website echoes basically throughout the fan base, and 11,000 is an incredible number. 11,700 is an incredible number to achieve. It really is, but we need to keep going, because at the end of the day, a bigger figure is always going to matter more, isn't it? And in my opinion, we've probably got a lot more than that across all of our communities, in the Wolves Trust, Talking Wolves, Wolves Fancast, Wolves Report, Wolves 77 Club, Always Wolves, and us as well. And it is going up. We can see the figure at the moment. It's now 11,800, which is really, really good. But keep going. I know in my heart and hearts there is a lot more people than 11,800 that support this football club. Even if you're across the seas, no matter what it is, no matter where you are, you need to sign this petition. This is the only thing that we can do as a community to really show Jeff Shee and Fosun why this price hike is the worst thing they've ever done. This isn't just, it'll blow over. This is going to send shockwaves, and it's going to affect everybody across the board. It doesn't matter if it's a few hundred for you or it's 70 quid for you or whatever. It doesn't matter about that. It's spiking in areas where it shouldn't. In the areas that it spiked is absolutely appalling. Appalling. You are pricing out children. You are pricing out the elderly. You are pricing out the disabled. And these people are the people that we should protect more than anybody at Molineux. More than anyone. These are vulnerable people. And you can't go on one side of the coin, Jeff, and talk about mental health and all these things, and you can't talk about VAR being a disruptor of the game that we all love, and then in another heartbeat raise the prices to this extent, because it's not going to go down well. And I think you know that now. And hopefully some change is going to be made. We aren't even into pre-season yet. So there is a lot of time for you to turn this around. And I speak for everybody. Everybody. No one is for this. No one. I get what you're trying to do. We talked about it. The business. It's a massive, massive part of football. We agree with that completely, don't we, Kyle?
Yeah. I think, as a club, they'll probably see 3 or 4 million of it. And the only thing I can think of to reason with Fosun on it is that we are on the brink of breaching PSR. If we are, and they've put ticket prices up to boost the commercial, which we know they have done, is that the right thing to do? Probably not. I think we can make that money back in other areas. By all means, raise it a little bit. We've done it for 6 years. I can't remember the last time season ticket prices were frozen, to be honest. No. I know Jeff's come out and said this is the only massive hike that it's going to have, but it's still too much.
The increase is too drastic in one swoop. If this is an increase that happens gradually and you warn us about it, then it's fine. The fact that it's just come out of the blue and it's really hurt the fan base. It has really hurt us all. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit of money extra for some people. It's the fact that it's a load for others. And even if it's not a load for others, really, you've got to realistically look at the season. Is this a reflection of where we've gone this season? Absolutely not. You know, we've all stood and really defended you and the club over and over and over again. Probably more than a lot of clubs would do. We've really defended you at every little turn. But this is just far too much. It's far too much. And I am just talking about, obviously, the trust as well. So the Wolves 1877 Trust group, we have actually joined that as of yesterday. The Wolf Pack is now a part of the Trust, and we will be helping them spread this message across the board for the rest of however long we're all involved with the club, because this is just the start, in my opinion. This is the start of something that no one's liking the taste of. You know, we've been reporting the kit, and there's some really good positive things about that. You know, there is. But there's also some very underlining sour tones as well, which is, you know, saving money here and there on the fact that we're using our own kit brand and the sponsor being a bit dodgy and all this. All of it added on to the recent ticket hike is just fueling the fire, Jeff. It's fueling a fire that you have started, which is just so ridiculous and silly. And a lot of this can be reduced now. By all means, bring out the kit. You know, it's already done, we know that. Bring out the kit. That's like the smallest, tiny little problem at the moment. The main problem is this price hike. It is a joke. Now, we already just got, you know, we just told you the fact that we've joined the trust now. We are part of the trust now, and that's fantastic going forward. And it's amazing that this even exists, really. And you can also be part of this trust as well. You only have to pay £5, and all that does is it just keeps everything ticking, basically, and funds the different things that they need to fund, like meetings, etc. And we'll be attending those meetings. So that's really, really positive going forward. However, they haven't just stopped at that. They are not just leaving it lie. So as well as the tons of signatures, 11,800 is it now?
Yeah.
11,800 signatures as it stands now.
I'll refresh it again.
That is fantastic. But along with that, along with the 11,800, which is still rising as we make this video, it's still rising now. Keep going. But as well as that, what they've also done is they've linked an open letter to Jeff, and I'm going to read that now. So can you bring that up for us, Carl?
Yeah. There you go, mate.
Nice one. So, an open letter to Wolves. The recent announcement regarding ticket prices for the 24 to 25 season has sent shockwaves through the fan base of this famous old club. Attached is a joint statement from various fan groups and media channels, along with a petition signed by 11,000 and counting. This statement is sent on behalf of the community and has been built this club around since 1877. A community that has now questioned how much this club values them. A particularly shocking element of the new pricing structure is the extortionate increase for disabled and junior supporters. While it is no doubt makes commercial sense to yourself and the Wolves hierarchy, these excessive price rises only serve to marginalise our most vulnerable supporters and indeed our fan base of the future. Fans are also concerned and angry at the way the communication of the price rises have played out and the subsequent radio silence. We would strongly encourage Jeff to open lines of communication and set out an action plan as to how this situation will be resolved. Finally, we would urge you in the strongest possible terms to reconsider your approach and pricing strategy to protect this club for future generations. Fans are the lifeblood of any club. And then it says regards and all of the major Wolves platforms. Now, for me, there's a few things in there that are very important that we need to talk about. So first of all, obviously, fantastic that it's attached those 11,000 fans that have signed. It's not just a thing where they've just gone, this is how we feel, and you can just going to hazard a guess on everyone else. So 11,000 people, they've attached to that. So that's got to send like alarm bells, surely. It's saying how old this club is. 1877. And it's a community that is very much based around people of the local area. Okay? And if you're not around the local area, you know, you're in Shrewsbury, it's not that far away, you know. There is a lot of people that go to our stadium that are in the surrounding areas of the Black Country. And the Black Country is not a well-off place at all. It's just not, is it?
No, nowhere near.
No matter where you go.
Nowhere near.
And that's no offence, because I bloody love where we're from. I'm proud of being from the Black Country. I love the heritage of that. But you're coming into our club and you've offered us fantastic things when you first came in. And ever since then, there's been some really good days of being a Wolves fan. And we applaud you for that, for sticking by and helping as much as we can. But this is not showing us any future going forward that we're going to be proud of as Wolves fans. If this is a hint of what's to come, it's not going to work, Jeff. I'm sorry.
I think financially, you know, they've got the plan, and I think they're looking at it and going, okay, well, if we put ticket prices up, this is how it's going to benefit us as a club. But they're not thinking about the fans at all, and I think that's everybody's frustration. You know, we are, like people are saying, the lifeblood of any club. Yeah. And, you know, we absolutely love our club. Yeah, we have crappy moments and we have absolutely amazing moments as well. One of the founders of football.
Founders of football.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
English football, we're proud of that. Do you know what I mean? There's only, 6 or 8 clubs that were found in football, and we're one of them. You know, that's something to really be proud of. And when things like this happen, it's like, well, football's just a business now. And, you know, it kind of takes the enjoyment out of it. And it's just such a shame, because we are the lifeblood of the club, you know. Look at the way the players were reacting when COVID was it and they were playing all the football behind
terrible.
Closed doors. It was boring.
It was awful. You
know, there was no banter, there was no cheering, there was nothing. You know, there was no atmosphere whatsoever, and that must have been really horrible for the players, because obviously they're not used to that. You know, since they were kids coming up through academies, they would have had crowds watching them.
Exactly.
You know, that must have been a real big kick in the teeth, and now they could go on the first game of the season with a half-empty stadium because people genuinely just cannot afford it.
It's not that they don't want to support either, Jeff.
Yeah.
I think this is the miscommunication. We do want to be there, and a lot of people will have their season ticket as a very, you know, first thing they think about when they're paid. The first thing they think about, right, going to have to pay my season ticket, going to have to pay my mortgage. Do you know what I mean? A lot of people really have it under that regard. They do. It's a massive, massive thing to them. So having to do this in an economic crisis is the timing and the way it's been communicated and everything is just wrong on so many levels.
I think if it was more gradual,
yeah,
it wouldn't necessarily be an issue.
Or even match with our success.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Gary's just come into the club, and it was a negative place at that point, wasn't it?
Mm.
And he's shown us what we can do, and it's shown us what we like how strong we are as a unit. You know, smallest squad in the Premier League, one of the smallest squads in the Premier League. Yeah, destined to be relegated. All these things that we achieved, and now it just feels like why?
It's like
why?
That's the big question, isn't it? Nobody knows why. And I think if Fosun came out and told us why, we'd be able to reason a little bit more. And I think because we've just been hit with this price rise and we're like, well, hang on a sec, where's that come from? Because it is such a drastic change, nobody can deny that. You know, it's huge, like 100 and whatever it is % in some areas. Like that is just crazy. And like it outlines there, you've got the elderly to think about, the disabled, the youngsters, and that's the fans that we can see can't afford it.
Yeah.
Look at the people that it isn't visible to. You know, people struggling with mental health, people who are on benefits.
And they know that for a fact.
And this is
because
the thing.
they did the mental health thing.
Yeah.
And you've got fans walking over, having a hug, and it making them their day.
Mate, it's huge. You see some of the press now with the players, you know, when the players come over to the South Bank or they go over to the family end and they clap or they sign autographs and stuff. That I remember as a kid.
Yeah.
You know, I remember being there on the front row with my parents, having an autograph or a picture taken. That is a memory to absolutely treasure. Now,
exactly.
You're looking at this now for a family of, say, 4, 2 adults, 2 kids.
It's like going on holiday.
Way over $2,000.
It's like going on holiday, mate, for one match.
It is, honestly, seriously a phenomenal rise.
Honestly,
but you've
Jeff,
got to look at it.
In my opinion, you've got to look at what you've done across the board there. Maybe there are some increases that make sense. Do you know what I mean? There are increases that make sense, but where you've popped them doesn't. It doesn't make sense. And I'd just address those things. I'd address the children. I'd address the elderly. I'd address all these things, and just change that. If you're going to do anything, please change the people that it shouldn't affect. It should not affect. If I take my nephew to the football, I'm going to have to think now whether that's even possible. I shouldn't be thinking that as a Wolves fan.
No.
Some of my best memories, my dad passed when I was 14, and some of my best memories were going to the Wolves with my dad. Some of my best memories. Now, if you're saying that wouldn't have been possible before, do you know what I mean? If my dad was like, you know what, I'm a plumber, you know, I get what I can, whatever. You're going to have to wait till your birthday because I'm not going to be able to take you otherwise. That would have been so many memories that I've got. I support Wolves solely on keeping his memory alive. That's true. That is true. And if I've got to think, that might not have been possible if this price hike happened years ago.
It's a shame because now it has happened. You know,
you
think
look at
of
the
how
other
many
generation.
people who are in that situation now. Do you know what I mean? People who had season tickets last year who can't afford to have them this year might have genuinely just seen their last game with one of their loved ones, and they have no idea. It's genuinely nuts. If you've got to take all that into consideration, and I know it's horrible to talk about, and you know, fucking credit to you for coming out and talking about it because it's not easy to talk about, and it's genuinely such a gutting thing as a fan. I've not been able to afford a season ticket for a while myself. You know, I used to be a season ticket holder a couple of years back, but I've not been able to afford it myself. You know, moving house and all that, and living on my own. It's not easy, and you know, I've not got kids, so that's even harder. You know, I've not got any pets.
You got to look at it being like, okay, you're in the Billy Wright as well. That's even more money.
This is, mate,
So
this
it's
is
like
we've got the figures, haven't we?
it's like you can't just take it under the fact that you've looked at Villa and you've gone, well, theirs is more expensive. Well, that's great, but you can't just look at those figures like that. You can't say in emails, by the way, that Crystal Palace is a worse area than the Black Country. It's not. Anywhere in London is going to be higher than in the Black Country. That's just how it is, and it's how it's always been, and we've accepted that, and that's never been an issue. But if you're gonna say to fans, the reason that you've done it is to make us match clubs like Villa, it's their success that's caused these hikes in the first place. You can't hike prices without seeing success.
It's like that, isn't it? It doesn't make sense for it to be us at this moment in time. Like, if it was going to be anybody in the Midlands, you'd look at Villa first.
Yeah.
They've just got Champions League.
Yeah.
They've had a cracking season.
Yeah.
Brought in a load of players.
Yeah.
They're starting to play really, really entertaining football. Hats off to Villa. And
then you've got to look and go, right, as a business, it makes sense because we've got a fund. They're in the Champions League now. That's more money. And then they're going to have to grow the stadium because there's going to be more people that wanting to go there. Now they're going to have to do this. Now they're going to have to do that. What at Wolves currently, at the moment, other than a bloody number 9 that we've wanted for God knows how long since Raul, what do we really need currently to be a middle table team, not having to worry about relegation? This hike, if we achieve Champions League football next season, right, and you say, told you so, get out of the club, because it's got absolutely nothing to do with you. Gary O'Neill took this club, right, when it was in the brink of absolute mediocrity. We were across the board, on BBC, ITV, whatever you want to watch, told over and over again, we're going to be one of the clubs that are going to struggle next season. And he proved him wrong straight away. Is that you? Is that you? No. It's not you. So get off your high horse and stop saying, well, we achieved this, that and the other. No, that's Gary and the players. Because they gave a shit. You're showing you don't care about this club. You don't care about the fans. You care about this. And that is nothing without us. Nothing. Simple as that. So if you're going to go next season on success and then go, well, look, told you, bit more money there, bit more money there. No. Don't go on that. Doesn't go on that at all. We were very lucky last season to have landed a very good manager at a time where we needed one, and to get players that were cheap enough, that had ambition, that could get us over the line. We might not have that next season.
This is it, isn't it?
We might not have that. We might not have Gary O'Neill. Yeah. We might not have Mario Lemini, Gomez and all these players that have dug us out. We might not have them. And then what? What are you going to rely on then, Jeff? Do you know what I mean? You can't keep blaming VAR for everything. It's easy to do that, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, VAR's the reason you've put the money up. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. If anything, VAR should be the reason that the money goes down, because people are not going because of VAR. We haven't even talked about that. People already said they weren't going to renew the season tickets, Jeff, before you even announced the hike. So, it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm sorry I've sworn, I'm sorry I've got emotional, but this is real.
Mm.
A lot of people think that these communities on YouTube, these communities across social media are just there to get a bit of this, that, and the other. We don't get any money for this. This is a non-funded YouTube at the moment. And I don't give a shit even if it was, because this affects us as fans. Because if people don't go to that stadium next year, are the players going to, what are the players playing for?
Mm.
They're going to play for the owners, aren't they? So could affect us next season, and we could struggle.
I think it's all well and good having a plan there, but we're the 12th man. We're not just speaking on behalf of each other. We're speaking on behalf of tens and hundreds of thousands.
Probably 12,000 now.
Do you know what
Probably
I mean?
12,000.
Hundreds of thousands of people. And that we go back to the petition. I'll keep refreshing it just to keep having a look at how many we've got. We've got 11,826 now. So that's already well over 1,500 people who've signed it today. And it's, the fact that this hike came up and people are still signing it just goes to show how annoyed people actually are. You mentioned sitting in the Billy Wright. As we know, the tickets in the Billy Wright are absolutely extortionate. £939 in the Billy Wright. Man City have just won the Premier League for the 4th time running, right? In that time, they've won trebles, Champions Leagues. They've won some huge. They've got a massive accolade, basically.
Yeah.
And they've got a quality manager, quality players. Some of these players are world-class players, would literally walk into any team in the world.
Yeah.
Man City are arguably the best team in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. But to go and watch them, it's only £141 more for their most expensive season ticket. You're looking at the players.
In a top-of-the-range stadium.
And this is it.
And then you've got Molineux, which we absolutely love to pieces. I couldn't give a shit if it was a tiny-ass stadium. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you pay for what you get.
Well, you look at the capacity at City. You're talking like 70,000.
Yeah.
That's double what Molineux is. Do you know what I mean? What 32?
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah, 32, yeah.
City's got double. So do their prices really need to be more expensive? Do you know what I mean? They're more expensive because they're a quality team. They're more expensive because they've won the treble
and the thing
they've won Premier League.
I know what people are going to say. Oh, well, City cheated. Well, that's not the argument. The argument is their price is only a little bit more than Wolves. If anything, really, the cheating argument contradicts itself anyway, because that must be that they could charge a lot more then. If that's what you're trying to say, if they're such cheaters, they could have charged a lot more.
Like I say, they've just won the Premier League for the 4th time on the bounce. You don't see massive hikes every time they win the Premier League, do you? Do you know what I mean? Because that's the expectation at City. Yeah. They're meant to be title contenders every single year now. Yeah. What about Wolves? We're not pushing on Europe yet.
I also want to quickly just finish with what Jeff has said to the Express and Star and how much this angers me and how much this concerns me and how much I actually think this might see a different chairman, because the things that he's publicly said to the Express and Star is nothing short of a PR nightmare. If he said, if a club, I'm paraphrasing here, so I haven't got it, but if a club is, if you want to support a club that is, getting Europe, getting these fantastic things and has ambition, essentially, that's where it all lies. If you want to support a club that has ambition, Wolves may not be the club for you. That's what he said. After getting a double over City in one, beating Man United how many times? Beating Chelsea, in a double this season, beating Spurs in a double this season. Like, we've almost got into Europe. We have been in Europe. We got to a semi-final in Europe, and we probably would have won it had COVID not happened. Thank you. So fans also play an important role. If you pursue trophies or a consistent European football, Wolves may not be an ideal choice. If you only love your local team and don't mind their sporting achievements, Wolves may not be one either. The chapter of Wolves Now is about a patient story of growth, slow and indomitable, driven by people and not capital. All of that's wrong. All of it is. All of that is wrong. There's 2 lines for each of those statements. And every single one of those is wrong. Fans also play an important role. If you pursue trophies or consistent European football, Wolves may not be an ideal choice. We've already got into Europe, so we've already seen that's possible. With a few more players, it would have been this season.
The reason we haven't got the consistency in Europe is because we've been passed from pillar to post.
And they won't put money in. Yeah. You won't put money into this club. You won't put money into this club.
It's that second one that gets me. If you only love your local team and don't mind their sporting achievements, Wolves may not be one either. What do you even mean? If you only love your local team, what, are you supposed to support 3 or 4 clubs?
So Sports Stourbridge.
Yeah.
Would be for Stourbridge.
Support 3 or 4 clubs, and one of them will do well. Wolves will be the one who's just pottering around making a bit of money. And the others will just be it and hopes.
I get what...
don't mind their sporting achievement. We support Wolves because we love the Wolves. We love the town that we live in. We're proud of where we live.
Like, we're proud of where we
come from.
If you look, a lot of what Dave from Talking Wolves said at the start of this season, what I really loved about what he said was we like being the underdog. It actually suits us.
It does.
Out of the darkness cometh light. It suits us to be there like that. Do you know what I mean? It suits us to be the dark horse of the competition. No one's expecting it, but we get the results. That should be our mantra as a club.
Look at Leicester.
Not no ambition. If you're going to say that, oh well, if you want to support a club with ambition, then Wolves isn't your ideal choice, mate, get out of the club, man.
Look at Leicester when they won the league. Did anybody expect that? No. Nobody expected Leicester to win the league that season. That was an absolute freak moment.
Yeah.
What's the chances of Wolves winning the league next season? No one's going to be expecting it. No. If we went and won the league next season, right, 24-25 season, and Wolves top that league and have an incredible season with the players that we've got, with the manager that we've got, you're thinking I'm absolutely off my fucking rocker. Do you know what I mean? You expect your Cities, your Liverpools, your Arsenals, after the season they've just had to go and top that league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But Leicester were the underdogs. That suited Leicester. They didn't have an influx of money. Do you know what I mean? Yes, their owners put a little bit into the club, but they backed the club. Leicester then didn't have a great season after that. No. And then they got relegated. Yeah. And
but they're back up again.
Those, yeah, and that's it. They've just come back up and fair play. Exactly.
The chapter of Wolves now is about a patient story of growth, slow and indomitable. That is bullshit as well. Because how long have you kept us literally just, what's that? Is that European football? Nope, you're not having that.
And if it
was what's that you want? A number 9? Oh, no, you can't have that.
If it was a slow and patient growth, why has our price been
exactly hiked? That? Exactly. If it's slow and patient, why? If you look at a fucking graph, would the pricing go whoa like that for kids? Fuck off, man! You're a liar. You're a liar. And then this bit, driven by people and not capital. Everything is capital to you, Jeff. This price hike isn't about people. It might be about you, if that's what you mean. Of course, it's about Fosun. It's not about Wolves. And when you say it's driven by people and not capital, you're fucking the people. We're the people that are sitting here now on a week on a holiday, you know, from work, who earn a living. You know, we ain't got yachts, Jeff. We ain't got fucking private planes, mate. And we ain't a club that even players don't even have that. Do you know what I mean? You look at our wages, they're not even. I mean, Smedo and Sarabia have got the most wages, and they're still nowhere fucking near where another Premier League players are at. You know what I mean? So you can't say that it's not about capital. You're an absolute fucking liar, Jeff. I'm sorry. You're an absolute liar.
You know what the worst thing is for me? We don't want to be sat here moaning about it. We want to be sat here
buzzing about the season.
Absolutely buzzing about it. We want to be going, we can afford another season ticket. Our new shirt's wicked. Yeah. You know what I mean? Look at the players we've just brought in. This season's going to be the next best thing.
And it's negativity before it's even fucking started.
And this is the thing. The players are now going to see this. Gary O'Neill will see this, and his staff will see it. Hopefully the hierarchy will see it.
They will.
You know.
I'm not just saying that. They actually will. They're going to be. They're going to be looking very closely at what fans are thinking.
But this is nothing against the players and Gary O'Neill. You know, and his staff. It's way higher than that.
Yeah.
You know, the most Gary can do with that group of players is just kick on and focus on the season.
Yeah.
Because if we're now watching at home and sitting back at our TVs and going, right, we've played well this week, kick on to next week. You know, VAR haven't fucked us this week. Great, let's kick on to next week. And then we start picking up 3 points and 3 points and 3 points. We're going to start loving our club again.
Yeah.
At the minute, it's really difficult to love the Wolves.
It's impossible.
Because it's just negative all the time, and it's horrible to say.
An ordinary season with me, you know, receiving leaks and all these amazing things that hype up our channel and everything. Normally, that would be wonderful to be able to put out there, but I've had to really think about whether it was a thing, because we had those leaks ages ago, and I just thought, we've got to get them out, because the shirt could come out any time now, and it's a missed opportunity to talk about it. But honestly, it's been really hard to see to adjust the balance of being excited about a shirt and hating on what the hell the club's doing.
It's hard to talk about anything positive when this is going over. You know, there's no pre-season games yet.
Even that going to America and everything and fucking all that's great.
Yeah,
that is fantastic. You know, a pre-season with Gary O'Neill with all these players and not having to worry about PSR and everything. That's fantastic. You know, that's great. But you've absolutely killed it before it's even started.
It's so difficult. That one thing, you know, that should be small, has now become so big, and it's had such a negative impact. Yeah, the Graham Hughes.
Talk about what that means. What is the Graham Hughes stand call?
Graham Hughes is a little bit in the corner, basically. It's the little bit in the corner. If you've
watched the new Wrexham documentary, for people who aren't Wolves fans who haven't been to Molineux, you know the little stand that they put up, and it's like a temporary thing. We've had this for years in the corner, and I like it because it offers a cheaper price for people that want to go to Wolves and everything, and that's absolutely fine. There's no roof on it, so you always have to wear a rain mac, and we live in England, so it's always raining or cold. And it's a really good idea. I get why it was added, but these prices are ridiculous.
So, It's not really a restriction of your view, is it? In the Graham Hughes,
No.
you're definitely going to get wet, or a really good sunburn.
Yeah.
You are on the side of the South Bank and the Billy Wright, where you look and you go,
You're
okay,
gonna get pelters from the South
yeah,
Bank.
you're going to get pelters, and you're looked upon as like the cheapos, but this is supposed to be affordable. This Graham Hughes stand is supposed to be affordable until that corner gets closed off and merged into one.
Be like what the North Bank looks like as it's gradually coming over to the Steve
exactly, yeah. And, early doors of expansion, it's a great idea. But now to sit in the Graham Hughes as an adult is £525 for the season. That is
It's cheeky as well, because they've put it there so you can go, oh, you know what, it's only 500 quid. What do you want to moan about?
I think what people are forgetting as well,
that's why they've done it.
The season is 38 games long, right? But not all them 38 games are played at Molineux. 19 of them are played at Molineux.
Exactly, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, to watch 19 games for £525, where you're probably going to catch your death, it's a bit mad, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
It's laughable, isn't it?
As a pensioner, right, someone who is susceptible to colds, they're still having to pay £380, which is what the price of an adult should be.
Yeah.
Kids, for under 21, bearing in mind, as a bog standard stereotypical under 21, you're looking to be on minimum wage or national living wage.
Or relying on your parents.
Or you've just moved out, or you're at uni. Right? 320 quid. That's a fair whack for an under 21. If you look at the Billy Wright for an under 21, it's 704 quid. And the prices in between are in between that. Under 17s, they haven't even started work yet, just left school, 211 quid. In the Graham Hughes, this is, by the way. In the Billy Wright, again, £376 if you've just left school. For an under 14, somebody who's still at school. If you are under 14, whether you are 2 or 13, you're expected to pay £157.
Minimum.
At least.
Minimum.
That's just to go and see
up to
your favourite team play.
£305.
Yeah.
Under 13.
Yeah. Just to go and see your favourite team play 19 times. And this is some games after school, or after college, or after you've done a full day's work. That's not included with your drinks. There's no cheeseburger at half time or a pie and chips involved.
No.
There's nothing I used to love more than going to a game, having a bottle and a pie at half time because I could afford it. Do you know what I mean? What is included in that? Chuck a pint of gaming. If you're going to charge these prices, at least give them a free beer.
Especially now, like the levy group's getting involved so heavily, like they can afford to do that.
That's what I mean.
Because the merchandising
getting
there
nothing.
is just going to be ridiculous.
This season ticket price is a joke, and they're getting nothing. They're literally getting what they got last season.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
If we understood why,
yeah,
I think that's the next step for Fosun and Jeff Shee. Yeah. They need to come out, be honest,
tell us why,
and say why. Because I think what we got, nearly 12,000 people signed that petition. If they come out and told us why, you'd find at least a third of them going, okay, I'll get that. Maybe even half, maybe even 3/4.
Yeah.
Going, all right, fair enough, we can see where you're coming from. and it just needs to be a bit more transparent. There's so much grey area where we're looking at it and going, we don't fucking get that at all.
No.
What is going through your mind?
So,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
do you
we're
even
gonna,
know what you're on?
We're going to close things there, guys. It's been a long, lengthy video, but I didn't want to just come on and say a couple of things, to be honest. There's a lot to talk about. We need to debate about it. This is probably going to be live at the moment. You might be watching it live. If you are, comment what you think right now. If it's not live, comment what you think right now. Get involved, get in the debate. But more than anything, before you even bloody press that subscribe button, before you've pressed like, before you've done anything to help our channel or anything else like that, get over to change.org, okay? Get over to that website and sign that petition. It doesn't take long at all. A name and an email. That's it.
And if you're going through change.org, you can go through via the link that we're going to put in the comment section or description.
Yeah.
And if you want to go straight through change.org, it's 2024/25 Wolves season ticket pricing.
Yeah.
First one, click it, get your name down, and get it signed.
So yeah, thank you so much for the old goal pack, for putting that together. Thank you to all of you guys for getting involved. 11,800 of you, that's fantastic. But we want more, and I want it to keep rising now. Till Jeff says none of what you're doing's relevant.
And me.
Keep bloody doing it, because why not?
The next goal's 15,000.
Yeah.
That's just under half.
And that's
of
the time of this
capacity.
video as well.
Yeah.
So it could be a lot more by now, which is fantastic if it is. But
that's
yeah, guys.
half the capacity at Molineux, by the way. That's how important it is.
Exactly. So thank you very much for watching this video. Now I can say, please subscribe to us, like the video, share it with your friends. If you're on Facebook, give us a like. If you're on X, give us a follow. And if you're on Instagram, give us a follow as well. This is also going to be on Spotify. So if you're over on Spotify, please rate this 5 stars. And we hope you've enjoyed this. This is a different kind of video that we've done before. We've not met up before. It's our first time meeting one another today. And I thought it'd be poignant to make a video of this sort of degree, basically, in person. Because I think it just... it just looks like, we're more sort of in this together. Do you know what I mean? It's not a thing that we're just thinking about, and it's just everything else is all the hype of all the other things we've been talking about recently. No, this is first and full frontal what everyone's talking about at the moment on the Wolfpack, and it needs sorting. Anything else you want to end it on, Carl?
No, mate. Fancy a beer?
Sounds good to me.
That's all.
Sound, guys.
See you later, guys.
See you on the next one. In a bit.